everyone, CFL Park Hopper here at Walt Disney World, and we're here at the Magic Kingdom. This is the Tron Lightcycle Run right behind me, and we just got off the ride. Today we're going to talk about how to ride this, talk about Lightning Lane and its current state, because some things have changed now that this ride is open. So let's go. Tron is really fun, but the only way to ride Tron currently is either one, to get a virtual queue, which you would do on the My Disney Experience app, and I'm going to explain how that works in a second, or two, to buy individual Lightning Lane, which I'm also going to explain how individual Lightning Lane works and how it is different from regular Lightning Lane. So we're going to head out here a little bit and we'll kind of explain all of your options for riding Tron and the other rides here at Walt Disney World. Okay, so let's talk for a second about virtual queue. So there are two rides currently at Walt Disney World that use virtual queue. This ride here, Tron, and the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster at Epcot. And here's how virtual queue works. You get onto your My Disney Experience app and you find on the homepage, if you scroll down your homepage of the My Disney Experience app, you're going to find Join My Virtual Queue. Now you can get a virtual queue at 7 a.m. for either ride. However, you must have a park reservation for the park that you're getting the virtual queue at. So I have to have a park reservation for Magic Kingdom if I'm gonna get Tron, or I have to have one for Epcot for Guardians of the Galaxy. So I can't get both. I can only get one or the other on the virtual queue at 7 a.m. I suggest getting into that virtual queue about 5 minutes to 7. If you wait until 7, you will miss it. The queue will go within seconds, it will be full. So around 6:58, I confirm my party in the virtual queue, and then I just start refreshing, and I refresh and I refresh and I refresh. Right at 7, the blue join virtual queue lights up. I immediately hit it, and that's how you get a virtual queue. And then it's gonna give you a time. Unfortunately, you can't pick your time. It's gonna just give you one, and in a boarding group, and then it's gonna tell you what time you can return to the ride. So like today, I was boarding group 15, and the park opened at 8 a.m. So we came right after I basically got the virtual queue at 7. We basically got up, got dressed, got ready, ate breakfast, got in the car, got here, and we had until 9:45 to check in for our virtual queue and ride the ride. Same rules apply if you were to go to Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot. Now, both of these rides also do a later drop virtual queue at 1 p.m. However, at 1 p.m. you have to be in the park to join the virtual queue. So this is where having the park reservation also matters. Because if I want to do Tron, I have to be inside of Magic Kingdom for the 1 o'clock drop. The virtual queue will work the same way, going onto the My Disney Experience app, going into join the virtual queue. You refresh basically about 5 minutes before 1 until that drops open. Know that you will get later times. If you're here at 1 o'clock, they're going to be more later in the evening, and they could be all the way up to park close. So if I was coming and planning to get a 1 o'clock virtual queue, I may not necessarily get to the park until around noon anyway, knowing that I was going to stay later, unless I was okay with being at the park all day from 8 a.m. till it closed at 11 at night. Same rules apply at Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot. To be getting on the 1 o'clock queue, I would have to have Epcot be my park reservation for the day, and I would have to be inside of Epcot before 1. So that's how virtual queue works. Now, these two rides also have individual Lightning Lane, as well as a few other rides here at Walt Disney World. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train here at Magic Kingdom also does individual Lightning Lane. And Rise of the Resistance, the Star Wars ride at Hollywood Studios, does it, and so does Avatar Flight of Passage in Animal Kingdom. Individual Lightning Lane means I can buy an individual pass for this current ride or any of those other 4 that I mentioned. Those individual Lightning Lanes open up every day at 7 a.m. for resort guests. If I'm not a resort guest, I'm not staying on Disney World property, like I live at my house here in Orlando, I can't get an individual Lightning Lane until the park opens officially for the day. A lot of times the parks open at 9 a.m., so I can't get an individual Lightning Lane till 9 a.m., while resort guests can start getting at 7. So my chances for regular individual Lightning Lane drop down significantly because a lot of times by 9 a.m. they're gone. But the cool thing about individual Lightning Lane is you can pick the actual time that you get for the ride. It's not a set time like on virtual queue. I can't pick my time. It tells me what time I can come. Individual Lightning Lane, I can pick a time, and it'll be from when park opens all the way till park close, starting at 7 a.m. if you're a guest at a Walt Disney World resort. Or if I could get on, when I can get on once the park's open, I kind of just take my pick of whatever's available, so to speak. Now, individual lightning lane, each of the rides on that are priced differently. I believe I saw this morning the Tron ride was $20 a person. So you're paying for that individual lightning lane. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, maybe like $14 or $15 a person. I believe Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom is like $15. I think Rise of Resistance at Hollywood is either $15 or $17. Same with Guardians of the Galaxy. So you're gonna pay that price per person to ride this individual lightning lane ride. You are allowed to get 2 individual lightning lanes per day. So if I'm coming the whole day to Magic Kingdom, I could buy an individual lightning lane for Tron and for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, since both of those rides are in this park. Or if I have a park hopper pass and I'm planning to park hop at 2, I could buy an individual lightning lane for Tron in the morning and one for Guardians of the Galaxy later on and park hop to Epcot. Or if I wanted to save some money, maybe I could get lucky and get virtual queue for Tron here at Magic Kingdom and buy an individual lightning lane for Guardians for later in the day. So that's how individual lightning lane works. Now let's talk about regular lightning lane. So regular lightning lane is, some people know it as the Genie Plus, but Disney Genie Plus is basically the planning platform on the My Disney experience where you can kind of plan out your day. But Lightning Lane is basically the new Fast Pass system. You do have to pay for Lightning Lane. It is per person per day, and it typically runs between $15 all the way up to $30, depending on how busy the parks are going to be that day. Right now it is spring break, so the Lightning Lane is running at peak rate, I'd say, of like $29 a day per person. However, regular Lightning Lane, I can book Lightning Lanes throughout the day, 4 different rides in the park. The only ones I can't use it on are the rides that I mentioned that have individual Lightning Lane. So the big rides, Tron, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at Magic Kingdom, Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot, Rise of Resistance at Hollywood, and Flight of Passage at Animal Kingdom. Those are not on regular Lightning Lane. They're only on the individual Lightning Lane. Regular Lightning Lane is on every other ride in those parks. Magic Kingdom, I find, is a great place to use regular Lightning Lanes. There are so many rides here at the Magic Kingdom that I find that I get my most bang for my buck here. Everyone can start booking their first Lightning Lane at 7 a.m., regardless of whether they're staying on Disney property or not. And then you're allowed to get one every 2 hours after the park opens throughout the rest of the day. However, if I book my first Lightning Lane, let's say for like 9:30 in the morning and the park opens at 9, once I use that first Lightning Lane at 9:30, I can immediately book another one. And it'll let me keep booking them as long as I keep using them. If they're placed longer than the 2 hours, then I have to wait the 2 hours and then book again. But on your app, it'll tell you when you're available to get your next one. So I find that if you're coming on a busy week, Magic Kingdom, it is worth it to get Lightning Lane. Hollywood Studios is kind of a back and forth type park for Lightning Lane. It's busy. Most of the rides will be an hour to 2 hours plus. So you think, let me get Lightning Lane. However, because the ride lines are long, your Lightning Lanes are going to be further spaced apart. You're not going to get to them as close together because it kind of goes off of wait times as well. And then popularity of people getting the Lightning Lane because the wait times are long. So if my first wait time is at, let's say Lightning Lane is at 10:30 in the morning at Hollywood Studios, and I try to book another one, my second one possibly will not be until 3 or 4 in the afternoon. And then I couldn't get another one till I use that one, or closer to, and then they're longer, like closer to 7 at night. So I find Hollywood Studios, it's kind of hard to get good ones. I can maybe get one really good ride with Lightning Lane and then a couple of B rides with Lightning Lane, which if I'm going to be there all day, it saves me from waiting in line for everything. But you just kind of have to decide, it's an individual, I guess, if it's worth it or not. Epcot and Animal Kingdom, I haven't really used Lightning Lane too much because I find that it's easier just to go and then wait in the lines for those two parks versus pay for that. And it'd be better to use and buy the individual Lightning Lane, like for Flight of Passage or for Guardians of the Galaxy, versus buy the Lightning Lane for all the other rides in the park. So I hope this explains how this works. Individual Lightning Lane and regular Lightning Lane are definitely different attractions. They're different rules. They're different prices. So I would definitely do some research before your Disney World trip. And it really comes down to deciding what you want to do. What your family is interested in, what rides you would really do when you are here. If you are a family that rides and would do all of the rides, then I think it would be worth it to look into some individual Lightning Lanes and some regular Lightning Lane days on your trip. especially if you're not going to be here for very long. If you're going to be here for a 2-week vacation and coming to the parks like 10 to 14 days, you don't necessarily need to pay for Lightning Lane because you'll have plenty of time to get through everything. So, you know, that's also going to depend. If I'm only coming to the Magic Kingdom for 1 day or Hollywood Studios for 1 day, then I might use Lightning Lane to try to maximize and see as much of the things that I absolutely want to see while I'm here. I definitely take advantage of the virtual queues for Tron and Guardians. I do them a lot. Plus, they're free, so they don't cost me any money to use virtual queue. And I just set my alarm. I'm really good at doing the 6:55 one, getting in at 7 a.m. So I find that's probably the easiest way to ride those two things and not have to spend money, because otherwise it gets expensive. $20 per person to ride Tron times your family of 4. You know, you're spending $80 to ride a minute ride. Yes, it's a great ride. Yes, it's fun, but I don't know if it's worth spending $80 for that. That seems like a lot of money. So definitely do some research and really decide what's important to you beforehand, and that will help you be able to decide when to book individual Lightning Lanes, when to use regular Lightning Lane, when to use virtual queue. Well, everyone, I hope you find this video useful in planning your trip here to Walt Disney World and how to use Lightning Lane and individual Lightning Lane and virtual queue, because it's kind of confusing. There's a lot of rules that go along with this. So I hope I explained it okay and you're able to understand it better. Definitely, again, do your research before you come. And if you like today's video, hit like and subscribe down below to see more. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new video, which is usually once a week. And also subscribe on social media like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. CFL Park Hopper on all 3. Thanks for watching.